Hey, what's up, guys? This is a reaction video to one of the most viral coding tweets of this week, and I want to share with you my reaction. But before I start, I want to play the actual video in the tweet so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There's a link to the tweet as well in the description below. Alright, so there it is. Now, this tweet sums up the frustration of someone new coming into coding, especially web dev, in 2020 pretty well. And I can see the frustration from somebody who's starting when they, for example, when in back in the 2000s, you have the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and then you get a website, right? But now, what this video is saying is, if you're starting in 2020, you had JavaScript mostly on the web, but then you got all these frameworks that you had to run. Not to mention Webpack, which is bundling all your JavaScript together. Now you got Vue.js, or you got React, or you got Angular. Now, like you want to, it's trying to make a point of like trying to decide which framework to use. And then you got these nice static framework on top of a framework, like Next.js or Gatsby. I don't know what Redwood is, but here's a bunch of REST API, and then GraphQL, CSS, shopping on Amazon. And then a bunch of UI libraries like Tailwind or CSS in JavaScript or Bootstrap. And then in the end, you got GitHub. You have to learn GitHub, Bitbucket, Netlify, DigitalOcean, which is hosting, and PWA, Wasm, SSG, React Native. And then you got a website. But in the end, you decide to proceed to abandon the project. Anyway, so here's my thought. While I understand the hardship of learning or deciding on what to use, but let's not forget what a website looks like in 2000s or 1990s, right? Because back then the web is not as developed as today. You don't have like nice REST-based, AJAX-based website like today we do, and you don't have like social media, like like very advanced web applications. Back then, most websites are pretty much static, and they are just simple page with a little bit of JavaScript to spice up the website. And it's very easy to code it. I admit, back then you start an HTML file, you add a CSS file, and then you add a JavaScript file, and then you just include it on the page, and you got a website going. While this is back then, this is about 20 years ago. Today, the web is much, much different because we have so much more development in the browser field, right? The browser is now more capable of serving contents. You can look at it. It's like if you compare the websites like YouTube back when it first launched to compare to YouTube today, there's just so many so many like new technologies and so many like complex state management in the app, in the website. So why do we need these frameworks? Well, Vue.js and React.js makes it easy to like manage all your components, manage your code, and organize your code well, right? And then Webpack is there to help you organize your JavaScript, to optimize your JavaScript, so it's like only serving the JavaScript that's needed on the page. So like this will result in faster web pages, like better, efficient code. Now then you got these things like Gatsby and Next. Like we don't have to learn all of these stuff, right? Most of the time you just need to be familiar with some of these, and then you pick what you need for your app. A lot of these concepts are like, if you have the basics of JavaScript and CSS, you can carry that knowledge over to all of these things. You could learn these things in like a week or so, right? At the minimum, to be familiar, right? But if you want to get in depth into it, sure, it'll take more time. But this is like what the industry standard are going towards, right? These frameworks, these concepts like GraphQL, and then like CSS frameworks are there. Like most of the time, their website has all the documentation you need to use them correctly. And then these are the basic things like GitHub, Bitbucket. You need to know how to use GitHub if you work in coding. That's the basics. Netlify is like Netlify, DigitalOcean, and these things. They're there to help you deploy your application faster and easier, right? DigitalOcean is an amazing host. You can use it to deploy your website there for cheap, right? By the way, I have a coupon code in the description below. If you want to sign up for DigitalOcean, you get $100 credits. There's my plug. And then you can React Native, Script. I don't know what it is. Flutter is for Android. So like these are app development, like iOS or Android app development. So you don't really have to know all of these if you plan to make a website. Then Wasm is more for like assembly on the website. It's pretty advanced stuff. Most of the time we don't need it. PWA, if you only do PWA if you want to make a PWA app. And then they abandoned the project. So this is I would say it's a controversial tweet because I don't agree with the idea that's communicated there. I think for today, you definitely need these things if you want to start an application or a website. You could still go back to the good old HTML, CSS, and JavaScript if you plan to make a simple website. But most of the time, having these will help you organize your app and your website as they grow larger. In a way, it's even better. It's better than like a plain CSS, JavaScript, HTML website. Anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys thought about this as well. The link to the tweet is in the description. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, I'm going to share with you our Pentacle newsletter. It's a every other day newsletter where we show you some of the latest and the greatest posts from the web dev world. If you want to improve as a developer, this is certainly a great way to improve, to find things to read about every day. Not only do we have a list of articles for you to read, we also have a curated section where we highlight interesting things for you, like projects or apps, things like that. If you're into humor, we have a humor section, courtesy of Programmer Humor. And then finally, we have a tweet highlight section where we show you some of the best tweets from the web dev community. So feel free to sign up for the Pentacle newsletter at pentacle.com/news.